Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Andi Najda, and I'm here with my partner.
Santika Rahma. And today we'll be joined with our guest
Kansa Karimazada
from grade
12 Science 5.
Okay, before we start,
How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you.
how's 12th grade? How's grade 12 has been treating you?
12th grade has been hectic. Like, you got a lot of things going on, like doing the tryouts and stuff, and preparing for the university entrance test. And I hope that we'll be all doing great.
Amin. Thank you. Okay, so the reason why we're here today is to ask and learn, get more insight about this research life, especially as someone who has been inside the research community since high school. So what got you interested in researching?
Actually, my interest in research it started when I was a kid. So when I was a kid, my parents bought me like a lot of science comic books, like the Y and stuff. And there was a series about like junior high schoolers entering a science club, and there was like experiments and stuff. So I was really interested in that, and I actually tried to enter like a science club when I was elementary school, but like I kind of quit. But my passion to becoming a researcher was still there. So when I was in junior high school, I wanted to be a researcher, scientist. And I asked my teacher, like, how do you be a scientist? And she said, like, take pure biology as your degree. And at that time, I asked my biology teacher, so it's over that. She said that, and I was like, okay, alright, that's interesting. But as time goes, I kind of lost my interest in biology, and so I think it was like 9th grade. You know, like the MBTI and stuff. So,
Yes. Everyone's been doing that.
Yeah. And I got a search about like the professions for like certain MBTI stuff, and I searched mine, and they came up data scientist, and I was like, oh, what's data scientist? And like I figured out it was like people using data and statistics to predict stuff, and like that sort of thing. It's kind of hard to explain, but I was really interested in that, and I did some research about it, and it is actually kind of popular right now, like the profession, and it suits my passion. So I was like, okay, this is it. I'm going to be a data scientist, kind of thing. And in high school, I rejoined the Science Club. So at first, I saw the extracurricular demonstration and for the science club, and I saw my senior like putting some bubbles in his hand and like burning it. And I just thought that, oh, it was cool, I'm gonna join your science club. And I didn't really think much about it, because I thought it was just gonna be full of experience and stuff, and maybe I'll enjoy it. But it turns out that when you enter your science club, you learn about like writing essays and research and stuff.
Expanding your knowledge.
Yeah. I didn't like, I used to see like those research competitions when I never thought that it'll require like writing like a proposal and stuff, and I thought it was like just boom, experiments.
That's the interesting part.
True.
Right. And when I entered, I was like, oh, there's a lot of things to actually learn. And when I was in 11th grade, my homeroom teacher asked me, because I was like a member of your science club, she asked me, would you like to join this competition named MyRes? And that was the really first time that I participated in a research competition. And I was like, all right. Like, I didn't know how to do things at first. Like, yeah, I did learn the theories, but like I didn't know how to actually write it. But my homeroom teacher actually helped me a lot, and there was my first research proposal. So it didn't make it, but like it was really a great experience for me. And yeah, that's how I that's how my interest
No, very interesting first step. That's
Your
very cool.
homeroom teacher seems to be very
Right.
cool. Props to the
Applause
teacher.
to
What's her name? What's her name?
Mrs. Nofi.
Mrs. Luffy. So that's plenty of
Information, yes.
that's actually very cool, and it really got us thinking, like, how do you think your achievements and your experiences will help you improve yourself, and perhaps what will you do with the current experience that you have?
For your future.
For my achievement, I think it really helps a lot for self-motivation, you know, like when you work hard for it and then you actually get something in return. It was like, oh my god, like it actually paid off, and it pushes me to do even more competitions. And while maybe in high school I didn't really get a lot of those achievements, I really hope that in the future, maybe in college and stuff, I'll win more and more research competitions. I hope. I mean, and then for the experiences, like the experience is the most important part, I think. Just like in the academic world, it's basically full of researches. And even for graduating university, you need research too, right?
Oh yeah,
Script.
for thesis.
Yeah,
scripts.
that's why learning the how to write researches, like the proposals and the reports, is really important for me. And now that I basically know how to write it, like I know the basics, it will hopefully make my college life easier.
Oh, hopefully.
I mean,
So from all of the things and the activities that you've done throughout your life in high school and in the research community, the big question is, does your parents support you? And if they do they have any effects on your life?
So yeah, my parents really support me. Like when I was participating in a competition, I told my parents like, oh, all right. And as the time goes, they kind of ask like, how's the competition? Did you win or like what? And if I lost, they were okay with it. Like, oh, you can do it next time, alright. And when I won, like at that time, when I won the Kresna 2022, they were like, they told like all my relatives and stuff. You know, when I came to like
typical Asian family.
Yeah, typical Asian.
when I came to my aunt's house just to like pick up some food, my mom and my grandma was like, "Hey, Kansa actually won." I was like, that wasn't necessary with things. And yeah, especially when I was participating in Piran, or like, to be short, it's like a youth science camp, like a national youth science camp. And we went to Lombok, which is pretty far from Jakarta, right? And I was afraid that I wouldn't get permission. But when I told them that, they were like, okay, when's the what's the event? When is the event? And like, I was like, oh, so they don't object it? Because
Surprisingly not strict.
Okay. Usually when I go far away, they're asking stuff and like really VK. But for this time, they really support me, and especially when I asked them, is it okay if we have to pay like the transportation fees? And they were like, that's all right. And I was really touched because like they actually support me fully and willing to spend money for my researching career.
So there wasn't any struggles between you and your parents' communication?
Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, there were times when I didn't actually tell them I was participating in a competition because I'm afraid that the results will be disappointing, but they actually asked about it first and I actually told them, and they were okay with me not winning, and I'm really glad for that.
Oh, very inspirational. Very supportive.
Your process is the most important.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
the process. Okay,
so you're currently very into the researching activities, right? So we're very curious whether you would want to be a researcher in the future. Is that like the career that you were planning to achieve?
Yeah.
and if you want to be a scientist, what specific field do you want to jump
I
into?
see. So the basic of my future career and my dreams was actually still a scientist, but when I figured out data scientist, I was like, this is like your usual scientist thingy, like it's not like the traditional research and stuff like that. Because when I was young, I only knew research in like biology and chemistry and stuff like that. I didn't really know the broad,
Right.
how do I say it? Like the broad field of researches. And when I discovered data scientist, it was like, oh, this is kind of different, but like it's really interesting. Like I had a passion for technology too, and it really suits me. And when I first saw the profession data scientist, I was like, oh, it has scientist in the title. It's still scientist. Yeah, I can be a scientist in the future. And yeah, that's basically it. Like I really hope I could be a data scientist in the future. I've taken some preparations to it. And yeah, it'll be like being a researcher, but like in different field.
Okay, so were there any like other considerations besides being a data scientist?
Oh, let's see. Actually, my main
Or is that like your main goal? Just
Yeah,
like
my main
you
goals-
stick your head to it.
my main goal since like junior high school, I think, is data scientist. So I never really thought about any other professions that I could take on. But I actually liked working in a laboratorium.
Oh, experiments.
Yeah, when I was like, since I was little, my dream was like working in a laboratorium. You know, I looked forward to like,
Experience?
experiments and stuff. And I was kind of disappointed in my junior high school when it didn't have any laboratorium. Finally, I had to like I can experience like researches and stuff in high school, and I think maybe if I didn't get to be a data scientist, I could still work in like biotechnology and those type of
Still technology.
maybe technology, but like in different, maybe biotechnology, bioinformatics. Yeah, this maybe combine technology with like biology or something. Yeah, that's mainly
that's
my
so
goal.
So I guess you really had your mind fixed on one goal.
Yeah,
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, I feel like not much people
Yeah.
are able to do such thing.
A lot of
Yeah,
us,
yeah.
our age especially, is like very unprepared,
Indecisive.
including me.
And me too.
No, you'll eventually discover it though.
Yes, one day. One day. Hopefully not too late. Wait, there's never too late.
There's never too
never
late.
too late.
But I guess it's almost semester 2.
Yes, it's almost semester
We're
2. We're almost finished. Oh, this is
almost
sad.
graduating.
You can change your like career anytime, you know. You know, like those CEOs when they used to be like what a seller of milk and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And they
You
sell
might
honey.
never know.
Yeah, you might never know.
Never
Maybe your
know.
career blooms in 30. You'll never know, but it's still a success in the end.
Yes.
I mean, so
You mentioned before that you went to PIR.
Mm-hmm.
What was like one of the most memorable experience that you had there?
One of my most memorable experience. Honestly, the whole experience is memorable enough. So, when we came there, it consists of like, I think 5 days of researching and 2 days the rest. We were divided into groups, and we actually went to an island. Like it's called Gili Trawangan. Yeah, you know,
it's a
right?
beautiful island.
Yeah.
And we went there for the data sampling. The thing is, before the parent thing, all my researchers, I've only made proposals, and I never actually like go into the field and like take the data for myself. I never actually did like a legit research, you know. And it's really memorable. Like it's my childhood dream coming true. When I go to the island, I take samples and stuff, and actually process the data in a laboratorium. Like it's the official laboratorium of University of Mataram, and it was my first time going to a university lab, you know. And the best part is when I went to the BRIN brain building, like the laboratorium of brain in Lombok. And when I entered the lab, it was like the dream life that I've always, it's like
it hits you.
Yeah, it was so futuristic, and there's like this big spinning thing. I don't know what it is, but it looks cool and like.
I'm finally here.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah.
My dream job is right in front of me.
Right, like the thing I used to look in books. Oh my god, it's right in front of me, and I was like, oh my god. So this is it. This is what I'll be in the future. And like, after finishing the research, like the data sampling, the data processing, and then actually writing the report and presenting it in front of my class, which is consisted of like fellow young researchers and with varieties of experiences too. And it was really memorable. And the last 2 days were like the bonding with my friends, the field trip and stuff. And I really meet some friends, some precious friends, and I was like, if I could repeat this moment, I would. Yeah.
So you get to not only you get to experience the real thing, you also get to expand your connections.
Yeah. It's really like that.
Like the people, are they from all over Indonesia?
Yeah, they're from all over Indonesia. Like there's some from Jakarta, from I think Central Java, and there are like some Lombok people too. Some from Bali, Yogyakarta, and it was really like the most. I've never met like this many people from all over Indonesia, and it was really a great experience in experiencing like different cultures and stuff. And I realized that even in Indonesia itself, you can like there's so many cultural differences, and yeah, it was really interesting. The most interesting part is like that.
Is it like a government supported competition or?
Yeah, it's a government supported competition, and like your whole accommodation there is paid by the government, which is a great thing. And yeah, the other memorable experience I have is like having roommates, especially roommates. You spend like almost 24 hours with them, right? And having different roommates with different cultures and different accents. It's really interesting, you know, like she's from here and she's from there, and it's really interesting for me.
So you don't really feel any like gaps between the other people, right?
There's actually, there's obviously gaps, you know, like there's
Of course.
cultural differences, maybe cultural shocks and stuff, but you can still, talk, communicate, socialize with them. It just feels different from what I used to feel in Jakarta. It's really different.
So, to our last question.
Oh my God.
So throughout your long journey, long experience of being a young researcher, are there any favorite go-to research topics? Like it could be topics that you have used before, or maybe any topics that you'd like to bring up in the future.
So the topics that I've used in my previous researches is mostly biotechnology, and when you're researching in a team, you tend to have to follow like one of their opinions, right? If your partner is like interested in this, and I'm just going to follow. But honestly, the whole time, like I really wanted to try researching about AI's machine learning and stuff.
Technology.
Yeah, technology. And when I visited I think it was OPSI, the OPSI website, I saw one of the winners had like using machine learning to detect like the best something bird by its sound. I was like, oh, that's really cool. I really want to try that. But yeah, at the time I don't really have any knowledge in machine learning, AI, or programs or stuff. So hopefully by taking a degree in computer science, I could learn about it and actually expand my field of research.
So you're interested in going to computer science for college?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. Okay, that's.
Okay, thank you for so much insight and the knowledge. Thank you for all of that.
Thank you for the time too. Thank you for
Yes.
inviting me here. It's such an honor.
You are very inspiring.
Very inspiring.
But that's very cool of you. Like the whole story,
Yeah.
the whole journey of
Oh,
you
yeah,
being a
thank
young
you.
researcher. And we also hope for anyone who's watching this podcast, it could be very helpful and inspiring, especially maybe perhaps some of you who are watching are interested in research community. Okay, so
That is all
That's
from
all.
us. Thank you very much.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.